The lighthouse at Punggol was a very interesting project for us because it is actually a community project. So it's not a private house, it's not a commercial project. It is actually a place where it's envisioned that the youth of the area will come and have activities there. So what's unique about this project is that we actually use upcycled shipping containers. And as architects, we always want to be advocates for green architecture, and especially with all the global warming and environmental issues that are going on today. In this aspect, it was a new medium that we could work with and something that I always wanted to kind of work with, which is the shipping containers.
So actually how we enhance the container itself is that we make use of the existing container, even though it's dent and scratches on it, but like what I say, it's actually a beauty of the recycled materials. So what we did is that we introduced like a youngsters colors trend, which is orange and neon green.
This plot is also flanked by two service roads. And then one side it is actually a multi-story car park, and then the other side is the residential HDB blocks. So with that, we wanted to be sensitive to the site context. One of the main goals was to have a stage where people could do performance or have speech and they have an audience in front of them. So we made full use of the topography, where one side is actually on an elevated ground and the other one is lower. But we had to be sensitive with the noise as well. So we actually orientated it away from the residential blocks.
Yeah, so this is the stage. You can do a performance here. Imagine an audience down there. Ricola!
We had 6 containers to play with, 2 of which we actually had a V shape to create a space in between, and what we'll do is actually roof over it to have a more usable space. This pit stop space is actually for them to have their operations over there, but it also doubles up because it's next to the stage. It actually doubles up as a back of house when there are events. The other pair of containers was actually placed in a very unique way. One reason being because it's our interpretation of what a lighthouse would be. So this pair of containers is actually designed such that it is a space for people to dance. So the other 2 containers are actually situated further to the back, and they're placed a bit further apart, and then of course we have roof structure over it. So this is actually a larger, more squarish conventional space where it's multi-purpose. People can go there and hold classes, can have gatherings there. The next thing that we wanted to do was to make sure that there is good circulation. So there's actually a sheltered linkway at the side, and what we did was to introduce a continuous linkway linking from the existing linkway to provide a sheltered walk throughout the space. Once we have achieved that, we actually wanted to also have a roof over the big open space where was currently planned for the stage. The design of the roof is more like an origami approach, where we wanted to have the folds and peaks as though it's like a mountain. So because of all the different folds, we had to do a lot of different paper models to kind of look at the pitch of the roof to achieve what we actually want to achieve. Because the last thing we want is such a big roof and then all the rainwater start flowing inwards into the event space is going to be flooded. So that's the last thing we actually want. One thing we tried to do was to keep the place very dynamic, very vibrant, very lively. The whole idea is that we must remember that this is something that we are designing for the youth, so it has to attract them. I do think that overall the place is very Instagrammable because of all the different angles that we're putting in there. It's actually quite cool. I'm not sure if the young people still use the word cool, but it's cool.